The next thing I'm going to do is to go to this tab, choose Effect Pivot Only and Centered Object, and center that on the Y-axis by right-clicking that. I'm going to go to Edit, Clone, and make sure this is on Instance, not Copy. Click this button and mirror it on the Y-axis. Alright, now that instance, what it's going to do is just mimic everything that's done to this one. We'll delete it later when we're actually ready to make that side, but for now it'll be helpful just for reference as we create things to make sure they look right and the right thickness and everything like that. So now we're almost done with this indented section. We just need to select these pieces right here, drag them in, and zero them on the Y-axis, and I think that's pretty much it for the moment. You can go ahead and fill in the handle down here if you want. Okay, so for the next part, let's see. First thing we're going to want to do is grab that Y coordinate and then grab these edges and extrude them out and set them to that same Y coordinate. Now you're going to want to make sure that you take care of this here. Don't leave it like that. Target weld that, or it will cause problems and errors later. So we've done that. Let's see. Doesn't look like we need this, so I'm just going to we might need that one a little later. Alright, so I'm just going to target weld these over there. And then extrude these two edges here, put them to that same Y coordinate, and target weld that. And this, I don't know how I ended up with that, but it shouldn't be there. Now select all of these edges along the line and extrude them out a little bit further than they're at. And then you can extrude them up. I want to put them to right about there. Make sure they're all the same height. You can change your frame like that just by hitting the I can't think what they're called, but they look like sideways V's on your keyboard. You can switch through your frames that way. So it looks like I'm going to want these. Alright, for now that's good. So now grab all of those edges again. And we're going to want to move them in a little and up a little. Let's see. And then up one more time to there. Good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring these ones out like this. Erase that. Now this part here, oops, edge, is going to need to be rounded for the foregrip. So bring that down, center it on the y-axis. And select these edges. And where is it? There it is, connect. And then drag that out to round it. That'll do. Alright. Now we're going to want to move these out, try to line them up with that slant a bit. In fact, I think I'm just going to put those on exactly the same spot. Move that down a little. And then target weld those. Target weld that. And then go to polygon, scroll down to create, and fill in these triangles that we've left open. That'll work. Now we've got this extruded area right here that we're going to do next. So select that face, choose extrude, and just drag it out a bit. We're actually going to want it at about the same y coordinate as this. So do that. I'm going to delete this and target weld that down. Oh, right. Need to delete that too. Now I'm going to target weld that down. Now if you target weld these out to there, then you've got the shape you needed for that. And for the moment, I'm just going to delete that. I might regret having welded that later, but okay. Let's see. Go ahead and select all of these edges. Choose connect. Drag that over to right at where the rear sight is. Choose this and backspace to delete it. I might go ahead and line these up. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then select this and this one and connect them. Alright, that'll give us something to work with there. Now I'm going to go through and target weld all of these unnecessary vertices down real quick before I forget. Alright. Now select all of these edges, excluding these three, and drag them in. Doesn't look like much right now, but it will later. Alright, the front sight may or may not even be connected. We'll decide that later. We may do it as a separate piece of geometry. The rear sight we're going to want connected, and that won't be hard. Just select these two edges and this one. and raise those to about there. This one should slant in. And right now, going to extrude those, target weld this one back down, select these two and bring them up to match with the top of the rear sight. Go ahead and insert a vertex about there and connect it to something. And pick these three edges and drag them in, get the Y coordinate, well, drag them in however much you want, and then just target weld that vertice onto them, or vertex onto them. Alright, perfect. I'm going to grab the X coordinate from this vertex and drag this edge over to meet it. Target weld those. And then back to polygon, scroll down to create again, and just fill in this gap. Alright, I'm going to start working on the stock now. I'm just going to ignore the hinge because I don't feel like making it. So you might want to set up something, some edges for that you can use to create these gaps later. Alright, perfect. Now we're going to want some edges to use to actually make these holes. So let's see. Use that one, so I need one there. We're just going to add two for now. Well, let's see, actually I'm going to add one at a time and slide them to about where I want them. Should have done that a little differently. going to grab all of these and I'm going to bevel them, or just extrude them by a negative amount. I'll make it about there. Then I'm going to delete these.